Yeah, let's start. Of course, yesterday we were discussing about jobs, right? And the configuration inside jobs. Think apart from triggers and post actions, we've seen other couple of bit thematic things. Today we'll start with trigger section. So let's go to job. Obviously, see what is the point of Jenkins we are using because we want to automate it, right? So trigger section will does that. This section is automates, is required to automate whatever the jobs and all. It means, let's say, uh, I want to run this job, maybe like cron job, let's say, at a specific time or something, or on a specific day, or I want to run this job whenever there is a change in my source code management. Like, let's say, we are using GitHub, right? So if something changed in this GitHub and in this branch, based on our configuration, it should trigger, which is most common use case, which we use. So these kind of configuration is present in triggers. It's very simple, but most important. So first thing, let's start with trigger builds remotely. So what does this mean is, you don't need see what we're doing currently now. We are currently logging into Jenkins and we're clicking on build now, right? You don't need to do that. You can trigger from anywhere once this option is enabled. Once this option is enabled, you can trigger from anywhere. So all we have to do is enable this option and give some token, any token. There is no authentication token because we'll need this token to pass. That's it. Give any token. Let's say run. I'm just giving something. So some random thing. Run as a token. So observe here. Use the following URL to trigger build remotely. See, they are telling use this URL. Use this URL means Jenkins URL means this is the Jenkins URL. Slash job slash test. I mean the job name slash build token. This is the token URL we need to pass. This is what we need to do. How do I do it? Just copy paste in a browser this URL, it will automatically trigger. Or let me save it somewhere. Yeah, sorry. Mhm. All right. Hope you can see. Okay, let's increase the font size then. So this is the URL they told. Token, what is the token? I think run is the token. What is Jenkins URL? This IP address colon 8080, right? Or Jenkins URL. So replace. All right. This is the URL. Correct. This is the URL which we need to uh, use to execute. Let's open first. Let's save it. Sorry. Let's save this. I'm just opening incognito mode and let's try it. Hit it. Why? Okay. It's taking HTTPS by default. Okay. Check process. Nothing. Of course, it won't open because we're triggering remote lab for you see here. See, it started today. Whatever it's doing, but it's triggered. Same thing we can do from command line also. or HTTP, sorry. I need to pass HTTP, yeah, and then only it will work. HTTP colon blah, blah, this no match form. Wait. Okay, this is correct. I need to pass something. Curl hyphen K. It's not. Okay. I'm doing something wrong with the curl command. All right. Let's. The point I was trying is we don't need to log into Jenkins. We can, if required, I mean, we can trigger from remotely by enabling this option. Got it? So as we see in the browser in incognito, I tried, just where is this? I tried this, which worked. So it triggers automatically. And curl also we can able to do. Let me try one more time. I'll pass something. We need to pass an token, I think. Yeah, sorry. F1x as a post approach. Blah 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 blah. Hmm. F1 user. So, no, is the IP correct at least? It's correct. It should be fine, but it's okay. Something wrong with curl command. It's fine. There is a command curl. Try with it. I don't want to waste time here. We can trigger with curl. You can try it. So that's what about trigger builds remotely is. Let's say as I think it told as an example, you want to trigger from script from your, let's say you're running some script and you want to trigger from it. How to do it? Of course, you have to enable this option. You have to trigger it directly. You can't do. So that's how we can able to use what is it? Trigger builds remotely. So this is one option. Next, there is something called build periodically. Build periodically is something depends on I want to trigger this job maybe every day at some time or something like, or every 5 minutes, something like that, whatever it is. You give a cron expression here. Say cron expression we have seen in Linux, right? Same thing. You give cron expression here and it will execute it by default. Of course, Jenkins has to be running at the time. Maybe let's for testing now. I'll do every 1 minute just because we want to test it, right? Star slash one. See every minute. So Saturday, August 20th, 1:34 a.m. Next will be 1:35 a.m. Let's see if it is works or not. So I just gave a cron expression and it will execute automatically. I mean, for every minute I told. So every minute it will run. But imagine your job taking 10 minutes to finish. So keeping it every minute does not make any sense, right? So you have to be make sure, based on your config. Of course, no one runs every minute. I'm just trying to show you. Maybe every 10 minutes or every depends on your use case. Again, we cannot say that. Got it? Depends on requirements. You just schedule a job. I mean, it will do it automatically. Let's Let's wait a minute. I think even a minute not finished yet, maybe. So what's happening is just every minute it will trigger. It will run. The see it started 1:36, right? It started. Let's wait for maybe one more minute. 1:37. 1:37. UTC timings now. Yeah. So it will trigger every minute. Depends on use case. You can change the timings. It will do it. It will be based on that. Got it? Let's see. Yeah, see, again try. Every minute it will run, obviously, no matter whether it's fail or pass, because we told that hey, run every minute. That's it. It does not care about failure or pass, whatever it is. So it will do it. Hmm. Next, these are okay. These are fine. These two are okay, normal. Next two are the major, important things. One thing is pole SCM. Same thing. We'll give you cron expression here. But what happens is pole SCM means pole source code management. So what it will do? Of course, let's give a cron expression maybe for every minute. Every minute, obviously. Okay, cron expression also same thing. We use cron expression. But what is this? What this will do? This won't run the job every minute, obviously, because we have build periodically, which does the same thing. But pole SCM, what it will do, whatever the repo you have configured in the source code management. So this is my repo, right? Whatever and this branch, whatever the repo and the branch you have defined in the configuration, pole SCM will look for that. Will look into that repository. If there are any changes pushed to this repository and to this branch, it will trigger the job. If there are no changes, it won't trigger the job. That's the thing. That's the thing. See, the definition is same. I mean, we have defined cron expression, okay, which is fine every 1 minute, but it won't run every 1 minute if there is no change in the source code management. Got it? It won't run for every minute if there is no change. Let's say I haven't pushed any code or any changes. Let's say not even a single change is I haven't pushed to this repo. It won't trigger. It'll check it. It'll check the repository every time, every minute. The cron expression we gave is to check the repository. If there is any change, it will trigger the job automatically. If there is no change, it will just keep on checking for every 1 minute. How it will check? Commit hash. Commit hash. So when we commit it, of course, that's pushing is just we're pushing to repository. That's it. Committing is the main thing. So committing, we'll get in commit. We have commit message, commit ID, right? So it will try to. There is something called commit hash. It's a random alphanumeric thing will be there. So did this Jenkins will look for that commit hash. Let's say now commit hash is maybe 123. Let's say Jenkins will store that. Policium, I mean here it will store that. After 1 minute, it's need to check, right? It will compare that. Okay, last time I checked, the commit hash is 123. Is it 123 or not now? If it is same 123, it means there are no changes. If it is different, maybe 456 or something, means there are changes, right? Because the commit has changed means there is a new commit. So it will trigger the job. If the commit hash is same, it won't trigger the job obviously because there is no change. Save it. Build it ran see multiple times because build periodically we have enabled so far. Now we saved it. Did I remove? Yeah. So Policium every 1 minute. Let's see. 711, right? 712. Let's wait for 1 minute. Maybe I log into GitHub. Let me open incognito. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. My example, my own project. I hope I'm the owner of this. Let's change something. Anything that's there is a file, I can delete it. No, I can't. Oh yeah. So meanwhile, yeah, this is fine. Let's go to Jenkins. See, 712 happened, right? Still, the job did not run. It's last. Oh, the old one is this one only, 20, build number 20. And of course, if you remember, we have enabled discard old bills, keep only 10 bills. See, that's why from 11, the old are gone. That's how it is. Let's wait for one more minute. Let's see. We'll just confirm. So poll is so now we have saved it, right? What's internally happening is it is keep on checking your GitHub URL, whatever you give me. Got it? So it will keep on checking like okay, this is the commit hash. So is trying to compare commit hash is correct, same or not, commit hash is different or not, something like that. Got it? So that's how it works. 7:13 or 2 minutes overseas still it's not triggered. Why? Because there is no change in GitHub. Let's change it. Let's see. Let's do something. Let's delete this file. This same thing. I think I might have tried something else. Let's delete this file. Yes. It means there is a change now. The commit happened. See, when you do even a single letter change, we'll be committing it right in GitHub, obviously. So now the commit has been changed. Let's wait for a minute. Let's wait. Let's see if this works or not. This should trigger the job. If it is not triggering, we'll need to try something. Let's wait for a minute. See, it started. See, I haven't started this. I just refreshed the page. The quiet period, I told you, it will just wait for 5 seconds based on the quiet period timing, and it will do it. See, like that. Now again, there is no change, right? I mean, the build is finished. There is no change again. It will do just simply keep on checking. That's what poll SCM does. Got it? That's about poll SCM. You change something, poll SCM pick up that change because it has a schedule to check your what is it? GitHub repository. Based on the commit hash, it will sorry. Based on the commit hash, it will identify the change because the commit has changed. It means something has been changed or updated. It will trigger. Got it? That's about poll SCM. Got it? But there is a disadvantage here for poll SCM. What is it? See, we told to check for every minute. Let's say it means every minute it will check. Imagine now, within the minute, maybe 30th second or something like that, we pushed it. We pushed a change. But it won't trigger immediately. It will wait for that minute to finish. Because we told, what we told, hey, check for every minute. It means it will go there, check, check for every minute. But what if you have pushed some changes or you committed some changes between that minute? It won't do that because it will wait for a minute because that's the time it has. Let's say maybe more meaningful, let's say 5 minutes as an example. It means it will check for every 5 minutes. Correct, right? So what happens is if you let's say you pushed it, but poll SCM what will do? What is the task? It to check for 5 minutes. So it will wait for 5 minutes and then it will check it. Of course, it will find the change, then it will trigger it. It means there is a waiting period here, right? So every 5 minutes we told Polysium to check, but we pushed it at the first minute itself. So it means we have to wait for 4 minutes. That waiting period we don't like it. That's why, of course, this is nothing bad. People use for every 1 minute, which is fine, but not great. Not, first option, obviously. This will be a second priority. What is first then? This. This is the option which is saving almost all the DevOps. This is option using by whoever is using Jenkins. Just open the Jenkins, open any job. This will be enabled. That's all. That's how important this option is. Very simple. Yes. All what's happening is GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling. It does the same thing as poll SCM. It will try to talk to GitHub. If there is any change, it will trigger the job. That's the same thing, right? That's what poll SCM does. When there is a commit has changed, it will trigger the job. But what is the difference between this and poll SCM? The only difference is there is a wait period, right, in poll SCM, but not here. The only difference what happens is when you push something change immediately within seconds, this will pick up the change and this will trigger the job automatically. That's the difference. That's the difference. Correct? Immediately it will pick up the change. There is no wait time here. There is no like a cron expression, nothing. It will pick up the change and it will deploy automatically. It will build the job, I mean. But we have to configure a little thing. One thing. What we have to configure? First, we have to enable this option. Let's save it. Still, it even if even after I push it, it won't work because this option, there is this. Yeah, this option requires something called a webhook. Webhook. We'll see that. A webhook is something like in a URL to trigger the job. We'll see that. So let's say you have enabled this option, GitHub webhook trigger. Go to repository. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Settings. Webhooks. This is my old one. Okay. Let's delete this. It's not required. It'll see like this. Add a webhook. Here you have to paste Jenkins URL. I know this URL. Jenkins URL slash GitHub hyphen webhook slash. Sorry. Slash. You know what is this URL means? By default, Jenkins have a feature, something called webhook. What this will do is, whenever there is a change, it will trigger this URL. And what this URL do is, it will send the request to Jenkins. Of course, this is Jenkins URL, right? We have. It will send this, I mean, that's change to Jenkins. Hey, there is a change. Please check it. And Jenkins will pick it up and trigger the job. How it will trigger? Based on this feature, this option. If this option is enabled, then it will trigger the job automatically. If this option is not enabled, it won't trigger. So webhook is something like an URL actually. Something like an URL where it will send a request to Jenkins from GitHub. I mean, since we are using GitHub, so from GitHub it will send a request to Jenkins saying that there is a change. And Jenkins will, of course, Jenkins will take the request. Okay, from GitHub I got a request saying that there is a change. So now it will look for jobs, all the jobs. Okay, which jobs are using this repository? That's how Polisim also works. Which job is using this repository? Let's say Maven repository, right? Which job is using? Okay, test job is using that repository in the source code configuration. Within that, is that SCM webhook trigger option enabled or not? It will look for this option enabled or GitHub hook trigger. So once if this is enabled, then it will trigger the job. If it is not enabled, it won't trigger it. Got it? All we have to do is add a webhook. Sorry, where is it? Yeah. And we have to select when you want to trigger the event. Just the push event. It means whenever there is a push happens, you can trigger it. Like that, there are lots of events. Branch creation or tag creation. See, branch deletion. It means, or let's say, what else we have? Commit comments or something. See, all the deployment discussions, forking issues. See, so many are there. Pushes, pull request. When you raise a pull request, there will be some other else also. See, lots of things. What all these actions is? These are actions, right? You select it. If this action happened, this webhook will trigger and send a request to this URL. I mean, whatever this URL is, Jenkins URL. Got it? So for us, push event is fine because whenever there is a push, we need to just trigger it. That's what most of us want. That's what most of you use also. All you have to do is paste the webhook URL and add a webhook. That's it. Remaining options leave as it is. Don't worry. But how do I know the webhook URL? This is the default URL. Default GitHub hyphen webhook slash is also important at the last. Remember, this is the default URL actually which we'll use. Before is a Jenkins URL. Obviously, Jenkins URL we know it slash GitHub hyphen webhook slash. So this option we'll see in inside manage Jenkins, which we will discuss one by one from next class. In system, it will be there. There will be a GitHub section because the plugin is installed. Mhm, mhm. Here is it. GitHub advanced. See, override hook URL. There is this option. If you want another URL for hook, you can specify this. See, this is a see this is a URL, right? You can use this. You can change the URL, but by default, Git webhook URL will be GitHub. Sorry, Jenkins URL slash GitHub hyphen webhook slash. See, I'm telling you again. I'm pressing same thing we have tried, right? Sonar cube hyphen URL. Sorry, remember Sonar Jenkins URL slash Sonar cube hyphen webhook. Okay. We haven't added. Sorry. That's some my work. Sorry. So we the slash is important. GitHub hyphen webhook slash and select the push event because whenever there is a push, I need it. Add a webhook. So once you add the webhook, this will try to talk to this URL. GitHub will try to talk to this URL. See, and it will show you tick mark. It means it can able to talk. If let's say into mark is there, it means something wrong. It's not able to connect. Maybe your Jenkins is down for some reason, something like that. Now I added this hook, right? I'll change something and we should see the job is triggered. For now, let's open it. Okay, obviously it's 21 last build. Let's see. Let me edit something. Hmm, what else? Deploy. Not okay. I'll delete this file. Deleting also we're just committing it. Any change I told you, any change is we're committing it. Even a single word change. Now obviously changed it. See, within 2 seconds, right? It started. We don't need to wait for a minute, right? Here, obviously, correct, right? We don't need to wait for a wait for a minute, just like Policium. Within seconds, it will pick it up. How it will pick it up? The webhook we have added. I'll show you what it did. It will send a request. So click on webhook. Mm, recent deliveries. See, of course, one is for testing. Initially, it took ping. See, ping. Just verified it. Second is push. Because we pushed it and it send a request. It will send the information to Jenkins. What it will send? All these information it will send. It will send, hey, there is a push happened, in this repository, in this branch, and of course, it will send to Jenkins. Jenkins will read it. Okay, there is a change. Commit as is changed, right? And obviously, it will build the job. This is the most commonly used option everywhere. Everywhere, I'm telling you, not just one organization. Because see, there is no waiting time here. Just seconds only we can able to do. That's about triggers. That's about, sorry, webhook triggers. Webhook trigger, not that whole trigger section. Webhook trigger. Got it? Of course, there is one more option pending build after other parts are built, which I'll tell you in few minutes. Don't worry. We'll discuss that also. We'll discuss that. Before that, any doubts in trigger section? Because this is the most important thing. Anything. If no doubts, I can go on to another section. Yeah, so that's about triggers. Very, very, I'm telling you, so it's important, right? So, like that. Mm, what's next? What's next is post-build actions we have remaining. Post-build actions, as I told you earlier, what should we do once the build is done? There are lots of options. The last option obviously will be delayed workspace once the build is done. So once the all build is successful, it will delete the workspace. I mean, whatever the data we are storing, obviously. But if you remember, we have added the same option before here. Here, delayed workspace before build start means before next build starts. Both are same thing. I mean, one is delayed after the build, one is delayed next before next build. Both are fine, right? And whichever you are comfortable to use whichever you want. It's fine. I'll use this. Maybe it's fine. There is nothing wrong. Like that, there will be multiple things. Sending email notifications. Email notifications, we'll see. It's a separate topic. We have to configure it. Monday we'll start that. The manage configuration and everything. But I'm just giving you small information. Email notification, editable email notification, both are same. I told you, when the topic comes, we'll see. Don't worry. So email notification, that's the thing. In the post actions, what else we have? What else we required? Build other projects. Okay, we'll see it in few minutes. Don't worry. I think that archive the artifacts we'll use. I mean, it'll archive it. It means it will, tar it or zip it. Why it will zip it? See, if you take archive artifacts, it will zip it. Maybe for further use, you might use it like that. That's why we'll use that. Postable actions depends on what your requirement is. We'll see the emails later, but just telling you. Got it? It's very simple. I mean, that's about job configuration overall. Of course, you can delete a project. I don't want to delete, but yeah, you can delete it. We have two more jobs also. Let's add something here. Maybe ls or something, whatever the just basic command. Let's run. Yeah, obviously it's success. Blah blah blah. See, you can create, as I told you, you can create n number of jobs. I don't need all these things. N number, I'm telling you, n number of jobs you can able to create. There is no limitation. Export something, some commands, Linux commands. Got it? Export, it's fine. So, e- before going to one last thing today, any doubts so far? Any doubts? So, the topic is upstream and downstream jobs. No, what I was telling about upstream and downstream, I think yesterday also. But what is that? Let's say we have three jobs. Correct, right? Test one, test two. All these three are needed each other. It means test one is dependent on test two dependent on test one. These are all linked, right? Two is dependent on one is dependent on this one, the main one. I mean, whatever it is. So it means we need to link it. It means, let's say, if test one job, if we want that to be successful, test job should be run before that. If test two job should be successful, test one job should be run before it. See, they are linked. That's what we call, chain jobs. We can call it chaining because they are linked together, right? That's like chains, how the chains works. So in Jenkins, to link like this, we have two options. We have two options. One is upstream option, another is downstream option. Upstream means from top to bottom. Downstream means bottom to top. Let's say upstream means I'll configure something. Configure it. Upstream option means go to post build actions. You'll see an option called build other projects. Click on it. This is downstream option. Sorry, yeah, this is downstream option. Sorry. So what happens is post build this setting is in post build, right? It means once the current build is done, it will execute it after it. That's why it is downstream option. Remove the comma and everything. So what happens now is once the test job is successful, it will automatically trigger the test one job. That's what the test one job wants, right? If the test one job wants to trigger, it should happen before the after the test. That's how we link it. Now if I save it, refresh, okay, let's go to test one. Same thing. After test one, test two should run, right? Go to add possible action, build other projects, test two. That's it. Don't need to select, just type it. It's fine. Save it. If you observe here, downstream job test one. Downstream job means below that or after that, you can say. Test one is comes after test job. And test two comes after test one. Same linking we have enabled. That's it. Line by line. So test will trigger obviously first based on our configuration. Once the test is done, test one will trigger because we told run test one after the test. And test one will trigger. After the test one, it will trigger test two automatically because we told right in test one job, hey, after test one is finished, run trigger test two because they are dependent each other. They're chained together. This is how it required. These we call it upstream and downstream. Of course, so far we assumed downstream option because after the build downstream. I mean, the working is same, but the option is after the build option downstream option. Let's execute it. Let's execute. Maybe just manually try it. It's fine completely. I builded it. Build is done. Go to test one. See, test one started. Obviously, just ls obviously will finish. See, test two automatically triggered. Of course, it will finish. Like that, it will automatically trigger. To make it simple, there is a plugin called Build Pipeline. Just install it. This very old plugin. I don't know whether it is present there. Build pipeline. Yes, this is still there. Install. This will just give you a new view for the upstream and downstream jobs. I mean, like what are linked, how they are linked, and all. Let's see. Let's click on this new view something. Upstream, just do something. Build a pipeline view. Select it. So I'll tell you what is view, but for now, yeah, let's see. Click on select your job, test job. We'll see it again, but I want to show it first. See how it looks like. Of course, you see, right? Test one, test two. Sorry, test one, test two. They're all linked together. If I trigger this, obviously, if I just run this, test one is started, it's going on, right? Yellow, that's why. Blue is waiting. Test, it is done. Test one will start now. It will become yellow. It'll because that's UI is not does not work because it's old plugin, obviously. So let's refresh. They're done. See, as I told you, no one is working on this plugin. They left it because no one uses it anymore. But I just want to show you this chain how it works. Let's say you have 100 jobs like that. It will show you like 100 arrow mark like that. Got it? This is like an upstream and downstream how we configure it. Of course, this is how we configure the downstream job. Let's remove the option. Let's remove the option maybe here. This is the downstream option. Post in the post build actions, you will see something called build other projects where you can able to use it to trigger or trigger the downstream job, means the job which comes after this. This is fine. Now we have one more option to choose the upstream. What does it mean? Same thing. Working is same, but remember from top to bottom we came, right? From test 1 we selected test 2. Sorry, test 2 we selected test 1. From test 1 we selected test 2. This we're coming down. Now we'll go up. Same things. Working is same, but option is different. That's it. Now what we'll do? We'll go to test 2. We'll select a test 1. We'll go to test 1 job. We'll select a test 2. It means, see earlier what we did, build other projects, right? It means once my build is done, let's say once test build is done, build other projects. Now what we do, build other project before this build. It means before test 2 run this job. Like that we select. Earlier we selected after. Now we're selecting before. That's it. So go to triggers. Of course, I missed one option. Remember, build other project. Build after other projects are built. Build this project after other projects are built. It means after test one is finished, build test two. It's like we are selecting our top one. Got it? Top or bottom. The order is we're changing. That's it. But the configuration is same. I mean, the working is same. The upstream downstream is still same. Let's go to test one and select a test job. It means what is the option means build after other projects are built means build this project after other projects are built. Same thing, right? Same thing as we did. See, downstream is test two. For if of course test one downstream is test one. So test downstream test one. The working is same, but there are two options. That's it. There are two options. One is after, another is before. There are two options. That's it. Working is same. Both are same. Don't get confused. So now I have three jobs A, B, C. Let's now say take our example and why A, B, C again. Test test one, test two. Test two should trigger after test one. Test one should trigger after test two. Same. That's the only requirement I have. Or to keep it in another way, after test one should trigger. After test one, test two should trigger. Both are same. I'm just saying in a different way. That's it. So we have two options to do that. One is in the post build actions, build other projects. Post build means, of course, once the test is done, execute another the next project. That is one, which is called downstream option. There in triggers comes before the build, obviously, right? There the option is like trigger this build after other projects are built. Before it, so we are going to top and selecting the bottom job earlier. Now we are going to bottom and selecting the top job. This the working is same, but the options are different. That's it. As I told you, one is after option, after the job execute something. One is before option, before the job execute the other job. But it's same, right? Let's trigger it obviously. See, it's done. It of course the UI won't load much properly, which is fine. Test 2 is still pending. Let's refresh. I'm just clicking here to refresh up, obviously nothing else. It's done. Let's delete this. Why unnecessary. So that's how upstream and downstream are there. Cool. That's how upstream and downstream are there. Got it? So what I did earlier, I think I created something. What is this? Don't worry, I'll explain. So what happens is this plus symbol is there, right? It's like to create a view for you. Let's say I have 10 projects. I have jobs all the 10 projects here, but it will be difficult, right, to see everything, to filter out everything. Of course, we can search it, but still not good, right? We can divide them. Of course, we can divide them based on project, based on application, whatever it is. Let's say, or based on environment also, you can able to do anything. You're just creating a view to do it, to see your jobs directly, because directly you can go there. That's how view is about. Let's say dev, maybe dev environment. I'll select list view. Only list view will come by default. I'm build pipeline view because I installed the plugin to show you. But as I told you, no one is developing that work plugin anymore. It's been long back. Don't use that. Just want to show you, that's it. So list view, select it. And here select which jobs you want to see in this view. Maybe test two. And that's it. Save it. See? Of course, in all jobs, it will show every job, obviously. But in dev job, we select, it will show only we select what we selected. Let's create one more thing. Maybe QA. I'm trying to separate based on the environment, let's say. Test one. Yeah. See, in QA test one, I'll see. In dev test two, I'll see. Based on, I'm separating based on my requirement. Like that, you can see views like any n number of, there is no limitation. We have around 50 views or something like this. Because depends on the project, we have created views. Let's say project name, based on project name, and they have pipelines, something, some jobs running. Correct. That's all. All, of course, all means every job. All, let's say we have 1,000 jobs, you can't go every time, right? But if you go to project, let's say, or this folder view, it, it'll be easy. That's why. That's why we just create a view. We have to delete this view, but I don't know why it's not happening. See, if you want to delete the view, just click on it. Left side, you can see delete the view. Or if you want to add one more job here, just click on edit the view. Select the jobs. Of course, these are the jobs we have, right? If you have 1,000 jobs, it will show you all the jobs here. Select it whatever you want. If you don't select, let's say test, I want to be here also. It will show you two jobs. See, let's say you don't need a view anymore. Simply delete it. As simple as that. Done. Gone. See, you don't want it, delete it. As simple as that. See, this is the problem with this. Delete view. Delete. Gone. That's view also gone. Like that, you can create views and you can able to add your jobs or the just to differentiate. That's it. Because going to all job, one Jenkins for one job, one Jenkins for one team, they don't use like that. There will be one Jenkins for everything because we have to maintain this, right? It's running in a server. Something goes wrong, we have to fix it and everything. If you imagine for one team on Jenkins is there means imagine the work of DevOps guys. They'll cry. No one does like that. It's unnecessary. That's why they'll just have one main Jenkins server and we'll use them. Maybe sometimes in some application, some companies maybe if the team is too big, they'll have separate Jenkins server, but most commonly they don't do like that. They'll just keep one common Jenkins server for all the teams. What we have is like we have Jenkins for BU. We have business units. Like within the business unit, we have multiple teams like that who work on a common case, common goal. Like that, we have multiple, I think 5 or 6 Jenkins servers based on the business units. We have six business, I think six, yeah, 6 business units. So 6 Jenkins servers are there which we maintain. Oh yeah, okay, six also too much, but yeah, that's how organization works. That's this fine. So that's about the view. I mean, a small one. I just want to just explain one last thing before closing. Click on new job. Just want to show you the types of jobs. The types of jobs which are available. Of course, we don't cover all the things. We'll cover just two things. Now maybe four things briefly. Freestyle job, which is what you are using so far, correct? Which is what we are also using so far. What does it mean is simple. Free, this is one of type of a job actually where you have all the options like this. You can select whatever option you want and you can do it. You can create your task, whatever the task you want to create. Through UI only, right? Through UI only. In the UI options will be there. Click on it, something, click on it, something, it will open, add it like that. That's freestyle job. Maven also same thing. Same thing. Nothing will change. Let's go inside it. Test test one, two is right. Test three maybe. Let's go to Maven job. Nothing will change really. Nothing. See, all are some except this one. This only one option is changed is in the build we have to choose the Maven. Of course, we have Maven, but we have integrated it. We'll see that on Monday, not today. There is some error. Forget about now, but there is some error in some Maven. So everything will be same. See triggers and all. Only things as I told you, it will specifically this type of job will use for Maven to build Maven code. Of course, we can do the same thing in a freestyle job also. Nothing, no need to come or create a specific job for Maven. Not required. We don't do that. But yeah, Maven project is available uh, to specifically for Maven. But of course, we don't use that because we have freestyle. Freestyle can do anything. As I told you, right, in the build section, in the build configure, where is this? Build step. See, Maven is there already for us. We'll pass the goal, MVN clean install, something like that. We'll pass it here, of course. It'll do the task. Correct? So that's why we don't use Maven project much. I mean, we earlier we used to use, but not now. So freestyle commonly we use it. And of course, most common things, pipeline. Pipeline. What is that pipeline? It's a completely separate topic. It's very important one. But I'll give brief now. See what we did so far. We created a job using freestyle, right? We selected all the options in the UI. Instead of using UI, we use a script. We write, we create a job through script. What script? There is a script called Groovy. We use that. Why? Why we need to use it? To keep just for now with the script, it will be easy to reuse the job. See, you have configured everything, correct? Of course, you can copy the configuration to a new job, but you might need to change a lot of things, or you might need to remove a lot of things, which is not which like we're doing manually. But what if you have a code? You can reuse the code every time. No need to do it from scratch again. That's the concept. We call it pipeline as a code. Pipeline we built it. We can build it with freestyle also. I'll show you. But pipeline, everyone uses pipeline type of job because we'll write the code and we'll use it, not the freestyle. Freestyle will use it to run some scripts or to run something, for every hour or for every minute or something like that. But for application deployments, we'll use pipeline only. This again, I told you, separate topic. When the time comes, we'll tell you. Don't worry. This is the last topic in Jenkins. Major. That's why I kept it at last. And of course, multi-branch pipeline also similar thing. In GitHub, you will see multiple branches, right? Master and develop for now. So it will create automatically jobs based on the branches and it will deploy them. That's how. Automatically it will create the jobs based on your branches and it will deploy them. Got it? That's what multi-branch is about. Of course, this is a separate topic. We'll see it, don't worry. And of course, there is something called folder. Let's say, I forget about this. Give some name, maybe what name I will give. My project name is finance, something. Select folder, save it. Let's see what happens. We just created a folder. See, these are jobs. This is a folder. We just created a folder. Inside that, we can create our own jobs. Let's say finance one. As an example, I'm just creating some random thing. Inside the finance folder, we have finance job. This is also one type of approach. See, I'm just creating a folder and keeping my files over there. Similar way, creating a folder, keeping my jobs inside it. Got it? Why? Why I need to do that? Just to separate out. That's it. As I told you, why we create views just to separate out. Instead of that, we can create folders. That is also fine. Just create a folder inside that create your jobs. Or inside the folder also you can create one more folder. See, one more folder. Let's say finance dev something as an example. Dev environment. Let's say folder. Save it. See, I have a folder called finance. Inside the finance, I have one more folder called finance dev. Inside that, I can create. Inside I can create folder here also. It'll keep on going. what what is the use of this is just to separate out, just to separate our configuration or pipelines or jobs, everything based on the project or based on the environment. Depends on your use case. You can create the folders. That's it, nothing really. Just the folders, that's it. I mean, that's it. Correct. That's about the jobs. Of course, I haven't discussed about organization folder. You can, it's the same thing, but let's see. My organization name is, let's say, what is it? Stress Agile as an example. Select organization folder, click OK. What is the display name? T Agile, just that same thing as a folder. See, see here. But observe the only difference is just a folder. This is organization folder. It means inside this we can have jobs, we can configure the projects, we can add, see everything. It will be present. Of course, this we'll see later, but I'm just giving you idea. Just creating organization folder. To be honest, I never used it in real time, but I practiced it. But yeah, we can do that. I'm just deleting it. Folder, of course, I don't need it. So if you want, you can just use it. That's nothing wrong with that. So that's about uh, jobs, types of jobs. Got it? It's not finished yet. I mean, jobs don't think it's like it's not finished. We have to do our task, right? We have, of course, so far we checked out. We have to do sonar analysis, Maven, build Nexus, push to Nexus, as well as what is that, Tomcat deploy. Some all these things are there. That we'll see all of them in Jenkins. That's what our task is ultimately. And of course, before going to that, we will see this call configuration. What else? What are there inside one by one? Uh, I think it may take 1, 2, maybe 2 days or 3 days because nodes concept is there and security is there, which will take, yeah, 2 days. I think maybe 2 or 3 days. At least we'll try to see what happens. As told you, Jenkins will take 10 days easily. Maybe by next weekend we'll close. Hopefully, I'm not sure, but we can try to close it. Not really. I cannot guarantee. Got it. So before, yeah, that's fine. We'll see that. Don't worry. Anything? Any doubts? Anything? Any doubts? Because of course, as I told you, ping me anytime. So I may reply late, but because today is Saturday, I can reply fast. But yeah, we can do that. Got it, right? Anything, it's fine. Yeah. So any doubts so far? If nothing, yeah, it's fine. We can close the call. Sorry, call, and we can meet on Monday. I think today is Saturday. There won't be in class on Sunday, right? So obviously, so we'll meet on Monday. By then, you practice all this. On Monday, we'll see the configuration inside it. I think Monday, Tuesday, and everything. Got it? So that's about today. Bye, everyone. We'll meet. Happy weekend. Yeah. Bye. Bye all. And keep practicing, of course. Don't